You're watching Tiki TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in.
What's good, everybody? Salute to all y'all for tapping on in. Like, share, and subscribe as y'all come in the building. We definitely gonna get into this one, man, because wow. That's all I can really say, man. It's wild, bro. Another day, another situation going on, man. And uh looking online, seeing the response from this post. Yeah, man. Jay Z has a lot of people upset with him for various reasons. I mean, Jay Z's getting heat from every direction you can imagine, you guys, and it's like it won't stop. It just won't stop, bro. Whether it's Dame Dash that's holding his helmet like 24 hours a day, whether it's a situation where you got a lot of people that's upset about the things with Target, a lot of people upset about the things with Colin Kaepernick, Al Sharpton recently calling him out at Nolan Wells' funeral. You know what I'm saying? For what he basically said on that freestyle about Kaepernick, him being called out for lying in that freestyle about Kaepernick. Um, and so, yeah, man, we at a point now where this thing is just crazy, but we got to get into this because this situation right here is wild. Jay Z is getting absolutely torn to shreds because he is now demanding money from the godmother of the man who claims to be his son. And I'm going to tell you, this whole situation that seems like it's never going to end. And Jay-Z wants it to end, it seems like, but it doesn't seem like it's going to end. So Ramir Satterwhip, everybody knows who that is. He basically waged a multi-decade legal battle against Jay-Z, him and his family, I should say, alleging that Jay-Z is his biological father and has actively manipulated the justice system to avoid that accountability. Now, Ramir, he's alleged that Jay-Z had an intimate relationship with his late mother, whose name was Wanda Satterwhite, in the late or the early 1990s, I should say, that resulted in him being born. Now, he and his godmother, right, Lily Colley, accused Jay-Z and his legal team of using fraud, misrepresenting facts, and exploiting loopholes across multiple states to avoid taking a mandatory DNA test. In a 2024 filing, they allege that several New Jersey judges conspired directly with Jay-Z to dismiss their past paternity cases. Now, Ramir alleged that Jay-Z's unrelenting efforts to silence him caused severe emotional distress, financial ruin, and physical illness. Now, Jay-Z has came out and vehemently denied all those claims, calling them fabricated allegations and a pattern of decades-long harassment. Now, the court battles have consistently swung in Jay-Z's favor, meaning after numerous failed filings in Pennsylvania and New Jersey due to statute of limitations and jurisdictional errors, a federal judge definitively dismissed the core lawsuit with prejudice. That means the paternity case is legally closed and that cannot be refiled. Because of these filings were deemed frivolous harassment under California's anti-slap statute, the court ordered Ramir's godmother and his guardian, Lily Colley, to pay Jay-Z damn near $120,000 to cover his attorney fees. Right now, Jay-Z's legal team filed fresh objections in a federal bankruptcy court to prevent Mrs. Colley from wiping away that six-figure debt through Chapter 7 bankruptcy, arguing that the debt must be paid because it stemmed from malicious harassment. Now, we get into this article, and people are upset saying, how in the hell is a billionaire going at this man's godmother just because they wanted to get a DNA test to find out if you're the father of a kid today? Everybody say that looks just like you. This is what they're going on Jay-Z on online right now. They going in when they find out, and y'all can go on X and look this up. When they find out that Jay-Z is pushing down to get that $120,000 from people who are already saying that they don't have money like that, boy, this shit got ugly real quick. And again, y'all smash the like button. Let me know if y'all can hear me in the chat, man. Can y'all hear me in the chat? Chat, can you guys hear me? Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me in that chat room, man. Hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel as y'all tap on in this morning or this afternoon or tonight, wherever y'all at, right? So the article goes on and the report says Lily Colley filed for bankruptcy, but Ove doesn't want that interfering with the $119,000 he was awarded from court. It's been a good summer for Jay-Z. It says between his Roots Picnic concert with the Roots and the 3 sold-out nights at Yankee Stadium, Jay-Z effectively shut down his haters and everything they've been saying about him, according to this report. However, outside of his famous ops, there are a few other people whom he views as people trying to take him down. Perhaps one of the lengthiest issues he's had to deal with throughout his career is one related to Ramir Satterwhite, the man who has claimed that he is Jay-Z's son. However, Ramir's godmother is now on the hook for 6 figures, and Jay-Z is making sure she pays up. Per TMZ, Jay-Z filed documents related to Lily Colley's bankruptcy case, asking the judge to ensure that she pays him the $119,000 he was awarded in court because of her quote-unquote fraudulent statements and misrepresentations designed to harass and target him. Jay-Z said that she's harassed him over the years through numerous unfounded court filings, online harassment campaigns, and public statements. Jay-Z argued that he spent thousands of dollars fighting Lily and Ramir's allegations, noting that Mrs. Colley's efforts have been consistently dismissed in court. Basically, he wants the debt upheld regardless of bankruptcy due to the ongoing harassment he says he's faced from them. Meanwhile, Lily said that she thinks Jay's petition should be thrown out because it fails to uphold the procedural requirements. Ultimately, the case is ongoing, and we'll hear from a judge whether we'll side with Lily or Jay-Z. Ramir Satterwhite has filed numerous complaints in court over the years, accusing Jay-Z of being his father. Ramir claims that Jay-Z hooked up with his mother who passed away, right? And so Jay-Z is getting hella heat for this, man. Bro, they on the internet going in on Jay, bro. I mean, they are going off on this dude, man. I looked on X, bro. Under the comments on this shit, man, they are saying, bro, how in the blue hell are you trying to push a woman for $120,000 when you're supposed to be a billionaire? And they just trying to find out, are you this man's father? And people are saying, man, you avoid that test like the plague is what they're trying to say. Now, Jay-Z says, look, hey, man, listen, man. It's not me. You know, and Jay-Z says, hey, look, they're defaming me. It's wrong what they're doing. So Jay-Z said, because they defamed me, is what Jay-Z is saying, right? He's saying, I want that bread. I was awarded that in court. Get my money. That's what Jay-Z is saying, right? But that family, man, they got a lot of the people are supporting that family because a lot of people have been saying on the internet, especially on X, and I'm talking about the fan base right here. They've been saying, why would you avoid taking this type of test when a dude looks like you if that's not your kid? Right? Then you've had guys like Oshkino come out here, and I'm talking about Oshkino been ripping Jay-Z to shreds. He been ripping Jay-Z to shreds, talking about just Jay-Z basically trying to duck this whole situation. He's even alleged that Jay-Z tried to pay this boy off and give him money to go away. Right? But the family, let me just say this, for somebody to fight that long, right? To try to get a DNA test, right? Fight that long, bro. Well, do you think somebody would be fighting that long if they was capping? Now I've seen people come on the internet and say, "Oh man, I'm going to tell you, dude. I'm going to tell you, dude. See, if somebody doesn't want to be your father, dude, why you keep bothering it?" People saying that. They saying that too. They saying, yo, why would you keep trying to harass a dude that obviously don't want nothing to do with you? Right? All these things are being said. I'm telling y'all this right now. Right? A lot of people know this. Y'all know this anyways, but a lot of these things are being said. Right? Yo, why would you, once again, think about what I'm saying to y'all now, right? Think about what I'm saying to y'all. So, most definitely, these are the things that are in people's ears right now, man. Um, and it's one of those things where you looking at it like, man, he got a lot of heat on him, man. Yo, either way, you know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, some people saying, well, why wouldn't the kid want to know who his father is? Right? So you got people on both sides. You got people on both sides of this argument. And you know, it's one of them situations where I pretty much think that it is never gonna end. I don't think people are ever gonna let Jay-Z get past this. And I'm talking about people are always gonna look at him and say, hey, and think he ducked that. Now his hardcore fans, they not. They're gonna stay with him and say, hey man, why? You know what I'm saying? Again, they asking, you got people that's asking, yo, why would this dude, if this dude don't want to be your dad, or it's not saying your dad, why would you still be chasing him around? Like, unless you're looking for money. That's what the other side is saying. See, I'm gonna give you both what both sides are saying now, right? I'm gonna give you what both sides are saying. People are saying that the only reason why he's continuing to do this because he wants some money out of it. He's saying now Ramir has said, I don't want. He said, I ain't looking for money. I just want to know if that's my father or not. Right now, you have other critics from Jay-Z who say there's other reasons why. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to have, no connection with this. And they're saying that is because of the age, allegedly, of Wanda, the mother. Because if Jay-Z were to take a test, right? We're going to get to this right now. If Jay-Z were to take a test, okay, and that test would have come back that he is that test would have come back that he is the father, I got to see if there's statute of limitations on that situation. First of all, the court of public opinion is already going to be, it's going to end him. It's going to end him. Because if that woman was not of age, it's going to end him. And people going to put that together already. And then now, the one situation that got away with Tony Busby, everybody going to be thinking back to that now. Right? And then I have to see if there's a statute of limitation on that still, as far as criminal, because it might still be a criminal statute of limitation. Yeah, I have to find that out. Hold on. Let me look this up real quick. But he couldn't be criminally prosecuted. So it couldn't be about that. It has to be about the public perception. Because even if, right, now think about what I just said. And I'm going to tell y'all why he couldn't be criminally prosecuted in this case. Because even the DNA test proved that Jay-Z was the father, while she claimed that she was 16 and Jay-Z was 22 at the time of the 1992 alleged encounter, criminal prosecution is impossible due to the statute of limitations on that. Meaning that in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, the states where the encounter allegedly took place, the statute of limitations for statutory R-word or sexual assault involving a 16-year-old expired decades ago. A paternity test basically is a tool that's exclusively used in civil court to establish custody, child support, or inheritance. Civil courts do not have the legal authority to trigger criminal charges or jail time in this case. So there were statute of limitations on that one. So he wouldn't go to prison. But if people saw, if that came out, and the public opinion would end them. It would be. I mean, that would have changed everything. So that's what some people are saying too. So you have different people saying different things about this situation, man. But no, he would not criminally be prosecuted because it's outside of statute of limitations, even if he did take a DNA test and was the father. The only thing he would have to deal with is the blowback from all the people, all the fans, right? All of the deals he got and stuff like that. He'll probably would lose all of the deals if that were true, which it hasn't been proven. You know what I'm saying? And everything else he got going on. I mean, it would instantly, the blowback would be heavy for him, bro. I mean, I ain't even think about the marriage situation. How would Beyonce feel about that shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different aspects. A lot of different aspects to that situation, right? A lot of different aspects, man. And so, some people have even criticized Beyonce. Some people have even criticized and tried to say, hey, well, she knows, but some people are saying that she's complicit because they believe that she knows that boy is Jay-Z's son, but is still standing with Jay-Z. There's no proof of that. That's the thing. See, you can't just say these things. You have to have evidence of these things in the world we live in. So that is the barrier right there. If you don't have evidence of these things, that is the hardcore part. And you won't never have evidence if there's no DNA test taken. Right? Now you have another tendency of people who say, look, Jay-Z can end this right now. All you got to do is just go take the DNA test. And if he's not the father, then young fellow will be exposed as a liar. They're saying Jay-Z can finish all this right now and expose this dude as a liar and all these other things. Right? And that's another side. Right? But then you have the other side saying, and these are all the different comments that I've read on this that are saying, hey, man, but why should Jay-Z have to take a DNA test? Because if that's the case, you'll have all these different kids popping up talking about that's my daddy. He need to take a DNA test. And where's the barrier? Where's the legal standard at to say, hey, man, this requires a DNA test. Just because you look like somebody doesn't mean that that's your father. That's what some people are saying. So I'm just giving you the mix on everything that's being said across all levels. You see what I'm saying? Across all levels, right? Now, let's move forward with this, right? Now, do I think we'll ever know? I don't think that DNA test is ever going to be taken. Sadly, I don't think it's so, man. Jay-Z got a lot of money, man. He ain't finna, bro, they've already got this case. Unless a judge comes and overturns everything, which, is rare, to be honest with you guys. I don't think he's ever going to take that test, man. And that's sad because the young fella just want to know, are you my father, bro? You know what I'm saying? The young fella just want to know, are you my father? And so, and you got a lot of guys in the industry that feel a way about this. They're not going to say it out loud, but they're not respecting that shit, man. As I told y'all, you can start with Oskino. Then old boy just putting his raps about Jay-Z and his son. I forget his name. Slipped off my tongue. Right? So a lot of cats in the industry, they looking at this like, hold on, man. You know what I'm saying? Boy, everybody quiet though. So the fact that Jay-Z's going to get that $119,000 from him, bro, I'm trying to figure out, do they have $119,000 to pay Jay-Z? Because they're filing bankruptcy. That's a lot of bread, bro. For a family like that, and you're filing bankruptcy, that's a lot of cheese, man. That's a lot of cheese. A lot of cheese. To say, hey, yeah, we're going to get that up off you. That's a lot of bread, G. You dig? I want to tell y'all something. Right? I want to tell y'all, somebody said we can donate to 119K. They might be able to get that bread up, man. You just never know, man. They might be able to get it up. They might be able. Y'all might be able to get that donation up. But let's get into this, man. Donald Trump, man. Donald Trump. He says that LeBron James may be a racist. Oh my God, bro. I had to laugh at this, man. I had to laugh at this, bro. And there's nothing that the NBA commissioner Adam Silver and any of these people are going to do, because they're trying to get down with Donald Trump because they don't want that DOJ investigation that's tearing the league apart right now into gambling to expand even further into other things. So in the past, where all these players could come out, Steph Curry, LeBron James, and all these people come out and rip Donald Trump and everybody be cool with it. Now it's not that way no more. You see, they rolled out the red carpet and invited Donald Trump to an NBA game, which is, I'm just like, bro, if this don't show y'all that Adam Silver need to be removed as the commissioner of the league, I don't know what is, bro. This is another part of the reason why I don't respect what's going on in the game. Adam Silver has completely destroyed the National Basketball Association with this shit. And they all feel like Donald Trump make all these people feel like they got to lay down. That's crazy. He really does. So he says that LeBron James may be a racist. Man, that's crazy. Out of all the things we've heard about Donald Trump over his entire tenure, right? Out of all the things that we've considered with Donald J. Trump, and when we talk about Donald Trump, we've said, hey, man, that may be racist. I want y'all to sit up here and think about this real quick. Think about what I just said to y'all. I want everybody just to think about what I just said to y'all for 1 second, man. Donald Trump said that LeBron James may be a racist. I just, again, that's crazy to me, man. But if you look at Donald Trump, since he says that LeBron James may be a racist, before we even get into this article, you guys, remember, y'all come in, like, share, and subscribe. I want to say this to everybody, right? So you had a 1973 housing discrimination lawsuit with Donald Trump, right? Now, remember, he's denied all of this shit, where the Department of Justice sued Trump management for allegedly discriminating against black renters by coding applications to reject them. Trump settled the case in 1974 via a consent decree without admitting guilt, agreeing to implement measures to ensure equal housing access. The casino allegations with Donald Trump. Remember, former employees, including former executive John O'Donnell, in his 91 memoir, alleged that Donald Trump routinely made disparaging remarks about black accountants and ordered black employees to be removed from the casino floor whenever he visited. Remember those allegations? Remember the Central Park Five in 1989? Following the R word of a white jogger in Central Park, Donald Trump paid $85,000 for a full-page newspaper ad calling for the return of the chair, the death penalty, for 5 black and Latino teenagers who was accused of that crime, despite them being fully exonerated in 2002 via DNA evidence and a confession from the actual perpetrator. Donald Trump continued to suggest as late as 2024 that they were guilty. What about the whole birther movement from 2011, 2016? Remember he did that shit with Barack Obama, y'all? Where Trump became the prominent face of the debunked conspiracy theory claiming that Barack Obama was the first black U.S. president not born in the United States and was therefore an illegitimate president, right? What about his comments on Mexicans in 2015 when he launched his 2016 presidential campaign by claiming Mexico was sending its criminals to the United States, saying they're bringing in drugs, they're bringing in crime, they're bringing in R-worders. During debates, he referred to undocumented immigrants as bad hombres. Remember this? Remember when he went at the Muslims following that attack at San Bernardino, where he issued a formal campaign press release calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until representatives could figure out what was going on? Remember the attack he had on Judge Gonzalo Curiel in 2016, where Trump claimed that the federal judge, Gonzalo Curiel, who was presiding over a lawsuit against Trump University, had an inherent conflict of interest because of his Mexican heritage, arguing that his own proposal to build a border wall made Curiel biased against him. Remember that Charlottesville rally in 2017 when it was a violent white supremacist Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, where Donald Trump faced heavy criticism at that time for stating that they were blamed on both sides and that they were very fine people on both sides, even though you're talking about straight stone cold racists and white supremacists? Remember when Donald Trump went in on countries and called them shitholes in 2018 during the Oval Office meeting on immigration, where he had questioned, right, why the United States accepted immigrants from shithole countries like Haiti, El Salvador, African nations, suggesting instead that the United States recruit more immigrants from places like Norway. Remember those go back tweets to Congresswoman in 2019? That's right, where he targeted 4 minority Democratic congresswomen known as the quote-unquote squad, telling them to go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came. 3 of the 4 were born in the United States, prompting a formal condemnation resolution by the U.S. House of Representatives for racist comments. Remember the whole pandemic situation where Trump referred to it as the China situation or the Kung flu, which civil rights organizations blame for fueling a sharp spike in anti-Asian hate crimes and xenophobia across the United States? Remember his social media post this year where he faced heavy bipartisan backlash after sharing that video on his True Social account containing a racist meme that compared Barack Obama to an ape? The post was deleted after 12 hours with Trump claiming that he had not viewed the entire video before posting it. Remember that? Or what about the urban crime rhetoric, where critics have argued that his continuous harsh rhetoric regarding Washington, D.C. and other major metropolitan areas, labeling them as hubs of squalor, bloodshed, and bedlam, needing liberation, relies on historically coded racial tropes aimed at majority non-white urban centers. And remember all of the things he's done with these certain parks, holidays, and all these other things that Donald Trump has done inside of the White House itself. But he gonna say LeBron James may be a racist. So it says that Trump weighed in on LeBron James joining the Philadelphia 76ers, reviving a long-running public feud with fresh criticism. And by the way, everybody kept asking me, yo, Tiki, what you think? I don't care about that shit, bro. I told y'all, I don't talk about basketball no more right now. So y'all wasting y'all time writing me, hitting me up, and asking me, yo, Tiki, what you gonna say about it? You're wasting your time. As long as that boy lost his job, I'm not talking. And Adam Silver's the commissioner. If Adam Silver quits from being the commissioner today and they get that boy his job back, I'll talk about basketball again. I don't respect Adam Silver, bro. When I don't respect you and I lose all that respect for you and how you move and how you letting this shit go down, bro. Y'all let they let old boy get $100 million contract. I forget his name. What's the boy? The boy that played for OKC and got traded. Me being out of basketball don't make me forget these boys' names. The white boy. He went to the Chicago Bulls. Somebody in the comment section know who the hell I'm talking about. He had those accusations around that girl. Oh, Josh Giddey. They let him smooth skate under that situation. He ain't lose his job. That mofo went and got $100 million contract after that. Matter of fact, he ain't even missed no games. But old boy said something about the Lord and praising God, and he lose his job. Man, no dice, bro. No dice, man. No dice, man. No dice. Nope. So when y'all ask me this stuff, man, bro, this is why. You know what I'm saying? That boy ain't got his job back. Holler at me when he get his job back. Holler at me when he get his job back, or Adam Silver is out as a commissioner. Holler at me. So it says rather than focus on what the signing means for the Eastern Conference, the president used the opportunity to reignite his year-long feud with the 4-time NBA champion. Trump was asked whether LeBron James or Michael Jordan deserves a title for basketball's greatest player. And he said it was Michael Jordan. He says, well, Michael Jordan's a guy that's a friend of mine. Trump said, play golf with him. He's a really good guy. And I think LeBron is. Maybe he's a racist. Oh, man. But maybe he doesn't like Trump. I don't know. But I only like people that like me. So I would say Michael Jordan all the way. Bro, he said that maybe LeBron James is a racist, bro. But I mean, listen, it's par for the course because LeBron James and them, they've been going in on Donald Trump too. They called him a bum. Remember they called him a bum? They called Donald Trump a bum. Remember that? They called Donald Trump a bum. Y'all remember that, right? Him and Steph Curry, because the whole Steph Curry situation where the Warriors did not want to go to the White House because of all this stuff that I had been telling y'all about Trump. The Warriors did not want to go to the White House. And when the Warriors didn't want to go, Trump got mad. And then LeBron James jumped in and said, man, shut up, you bum. Remember that? So all of that stuff was going on. That was popping back then, right? But now the NBA has tried to be friends with Donald Trump amid this Department of Justice investigation into these NBA players and coaches for gambling. It's just funny how they now try to link up to him like, yo, we got to, you know what I'm saying? Nah, we going to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, y'all wonder why that Kawhi Leonard investigation is taking over a year. Yeah, they're trying to drag that out. They can't drag that out because they got somebody got the smoking gun paperwork in that situation. His name is Pablo Torre, and he's waiting for them to come out with some cap so he can drop the truth on their lap, right? And have them hoes looking like Warren Sapp. So you can give me my dap. Straight like that. Booyah. 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 Straight like that, dog. Everybody know what's up. Everybody know what's up. Let's talk about this guy right here, man. I'm gonna talk about this guy right here, bro. I thought these was the hardest dudes in the world right here, man. Bro, you think these dudes crying, bro? They crying, bro. You can't be the hardest dudes in the world and ain't here crying, bro. The Tate brothers are out here crying, claiming that his neighbors, right? He's neighbors with what he calls kidnappable, while he's facing all word trafficking and PDF file allegations. Are you serious? They act like jail's supposed to be a vacation. No, you're in jail and you're probably going to be in there for the rest of your life. Matter of fact, you are going to be in there for the rest of your life, in my opinion. Right? So the article says Andrew Tate is currently in jail awaiting trial for some pretty serious charges, including R-word, trafficking, and abuse materials. Andrew Tate and his brother, Tristan Tate, are currently in a heap of trouble after being detained in Miami over the weekend. The UK is seeking extradition as the men face charges including R-word, trafficking, and even, right? And that's why I told you, I did a video about this. Y'all need to go check out that video. Calling out the PBD podcast. Patrick, Bet David, you're disgusting. You setting up here and y'all taking up for these dudes. And I'm going to say this again. They had to give the the UK had to give Donald Trump's DOJ, Department of Justice, to sign off on them boys being arrested. The United Kingdom had to come with some evidence so strong that the United States couldn't deny it. Because, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if the United States, after being shown that evidence against them boys, if they would have rejected that request, all the UK had to do was present the evidence to the world, and it would expose the United States and Donald Trump and his administration for covering up for these alleged type of crimes and criminals. Game over. This is why I told y'all Trump can do nothing. His hands are tied. And I heard Myron, is that your real name, Gaines, over there hooting and hollering and crying, talking about Trump has to do something. Without the Tate brothers, you wouldn't be elected. They can help get you in office, dude. You wouldn't be in office, dude. Man, Donald Trump ain't worried about them. We already told you Donald Trump cares about one person and one person only. Donald J. Trump, fool. All that hooting and hollering and crying ain't gonna stop nothing. Them boys getting extradited, boy. Don't you know that there's 0 people that have not been sent to the UK that the UK wanted from the United States, boy? They can fight it as long as they want. They're getting extradited. Period. Y'all can sit up here and hoot and holler and cry and cry about their conditions and it's jail, fool. What the hell you think? Oh, what you think? You think it's a vacation? But these supposed to be the hardest dudes. Tate always come out talking all hard. Yeah, I did it. Now you get inside again, you crying. Look at this, man. Look at it. But he got a whole tape. This man got a whole layout full of stuff where he have absolutely convicted himself. This man have admitted things on tape. Right? He have admitted things on tape that he can't never take back. The videotapes out there. Literally, the videotapes are out there of what this dude was saying. And the things that he was saying, he was telling dudes, you fly the woman out, you have sex with her, make her fall in love with you, then you take her passport. You tell her and get her to get on the webcam service with you, but you take all the money for yourself. He literally said this on tape. And people are saying, oh, it's a hit job. They're innocent. Are you crazy? This man literally admitted this on tape. Think about what I just said to y'all. And you got Patrick Bet David, PBD Podcast, and these people defending this shit. I want y'all to think about this. So Donald Trump is not going to care about some kiss asses when it comes to his. He's got too much risk at this. With all the Epstein stuff going on, this is too much for him, bro. And if Marco Rubio don't want to touch it, because he knows if he does it, you can kiss his presidential run goodbye. He ain't never going to become president. They're going to nail his ass on this issue in the primaries. If he does that, they're going to destroy his ass. But it says that the Tate brothers were once arrested in Romania on sex trafficking charges, although they're still currently battling that case. Moreover, the Tates have faced charges in the UK in the past, but have been awaiting trial. Now, their case has become much more serious as the UK wants the brothers in their country. Prior to her arrest, Andrew Tate put together a video message in which he said the Matrix is after him. Bro, and these dudes can lie so good to y'all, bro. It's crazy how good these dudes can lie. And people sit up there and believe it. I saw almost 1 million people watch that video and believe that dude with them lies. So you dabble in a little bit of truth with a lot of lies, and people think that it's all true. Oh, man, they're being persecuted. Are you crazy? Listen, they're on the videotape admitting to a lot of these things. What in the blue hell is wrong with people in our society? If you heard the things that these guys have admitted on tape, that we don't have nothing else to talk about. The guy literally has been on tape, right? On tape. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. On tape. Right? Think about this now. You on tape. They got you on tape saying all of these things. And y'all gonna sit out here and act like somebody persecuting y'all. Oh, they're persecuting them, man. I can't believe they're doing this. They're persecuting those guys. Right? These dudes have did nothing but These dudes have did nothing but telling themselves. Think about what I'm saying to y'all. For years, all they've done is tell on themselves, y'all. It has been real disgusting how much these dudes are told on themselves. And then once you tell on yourself, right? I want you to think about this. Think about what I'm saying to y'all. He talks about openly being a pimp, basically. Think about this. Pimping is illegal around the world, pretty much. Right? Think about what I just said to y'all. Let me play this for y'all. I want y'all to hear what this fool said. I want y'all to hear what he said. Right? And everybody keeps saying they're not convicted of a crime, bro. The legal process in Romania is slow for everybody, dog. It's not just slow for them, bro. It's slow for everybody, bro. It's slow for everybody, bro. Right? Think about what I just said, y'all. It's slow for everybody, bro. So for people to come out, and then Candace Owens was defending these people, they're sick individuals, bro. And they act like they're the party of justice and the part. Bro, I told y'all, all these political people are disgusting to me. Every last one of them. They're all disgusting to me. Every one of them are sick people to me. And I have zero level of respect for any. I'm talking about on both sides. On both sides, man. It's disgusting, bro. But for people to come out and defend these two, and now you're in prison or in jail, crying about the conditions. Bro, it's jail. What the hell is wrong with you boys? Now let's listen to what these fools said. I want to show y'all this.
What I wanted. So I was a pimp in that sense. I was all about trying to get paid. Like I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house to make me money. That's what I wanted. So I was a pimp in that sense.
Being kickboxer,
Yeah.
playboy, pimp.
I'm happy with those labels so far. But the majority of my money wasn't made in fighting. My money was actually made in the pimp game. We need to understand some basic concepts to the pimp game. Basic concepts to the realities between men and women. Women need a man to do OnlyFans. It's the same reason a woman need a man to do anything. Because they're incompetent and they're very, very lazy. And they're stupid. When you're pimping bitches like me, it's a full-time job. So yeah, on CorporateTape.com I have my PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree that I'm. Welcome to the Tape PhD course. If you've bought this course, which you obviously have, congratulations, you're going to change your life for the better. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm fucking certified. I know I don't look like a pimp right now. That teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me. If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not a whore. It's just not gonna work. You continue as normal, no mention of webcam. By taking girls who didn't know how to be effective on webcam, girls who had never done webcam before, girls who didn't have the equipment, didn't have the know-how, didn't have the will, didn't have the premises, didn't have the ability to make money with this exchange. I created a system that allowed me to convince girls to do this, allowed me to retain 100% control of their income. You start with a girl, you download OnlyFans on your phone, you take her ID pictures, her name, everything it takes to verify the account. You verify the account on your phone and you control the account. So you are now in charge of her OnlyFans. I learned every tip and trick it takes to make sure a girl gets paid. I know how to make sure the girl can't run away. And of course, they don't go out. They're not allowed out. You stay in the house. Because once you teach a girl how to do this, she has the ability to make unlimited money from home. Why would she still give it to you? Why don't she just run off and keep it all for herself?
I locked the door, you knew I was going to beat the out of you. If you behaved, I wouldn't have to hit you, would I? You don't. Get out. You can't stay in there forever.
Bang out the machete, boom in her face, and grip her up by the neck. Like, shut up, bitch! Her panties get wet. Machete's on the floor, her panties are all wet. You go, fuck her. That's how it goes. Every real G knows these basic moves. These are the basic moves of pimping. Because that's what I did. That was my MO was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. And that's how I got rich. So that teaches everything I know from start to finish about not only getting girls, not only obtaining them, but retaining them. 10 hours of me explaining everything I know from start to finish from my career as a webcam pimp.
You were the pimp.
I was the pimp. But now we're coming towards the end of Corona. I'm just going to keep I'm going to keep like 5 or 6 of my main girls.
Hey, don't forget, my girls were making us money too. Don't forget that.
Let them take full control over their accounts. They will run away. I like to keep the girls' passwords. I log them in and log them out. If you give the girl the password to her account, there's a chance she could run away and try it by herself. I've had that happen. Be in charge of her own phone contact with members who like her. You are setting yourself up to get scammed. All she has to do is type a sort code and account number to a member. And that has happened to me before. I went to the room, smashed the room up, told her I knew what she did. She sent me all the money, but that has happened to me before.
No.
I try to tell y'all this. So these fools have incriminated themselves all over the media. But you have PBD Podcast. You have Candace Owens. You have Myron from Fresh and Fit. And all these other people defending this shit. Oh, man, they're being persecuted. They're political prisoners. I get the hell out of here with that bullshit, bro. These dudes incriminated themselves on tape for years. I got more than that. They've literally incriminated themselves on tape. Now you add their allegations to go with what they've already said themselves. And now they're saying, "Oh, we didn't do any of these things." What do you mean? You said it the whole time. You had a whole webcam service business where you said that you make the girls work for you. They literally said that on tape. We take their passports so they can't leave. You can't leave the house. Bro, this is, but then they show videos of some of them leaving and saying, "Oh, well, see, well, they can just leave." They can, I mean, bro, they're done. It's over with. It's a wrap. They're going to prison for the rest of their life. Then you put PDF allegation on there too with the content. If you the cops, you either got it or you don't got it. That ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. That's you either. So the stuff they showed Donald Trump's Department of Justice was so heavy that Trump could not deny it. I'm telling y'all this. There was no way Trump could deny it and not look guilty. Trump would have looked bad if he would have denied it. Donald Trump would have looked horrible if he denied that shit, bro. Let him would have denied that shit, bro. Donald Trump would have looked so bad, it'd have been crazy, bro. Because what the UK what it did was it came out and exposed it in front of the whole world. Like, look at all this. So he denies it, but look at all this shit we got right here. Right? Look at all this evidence we got that they denied us prosecuting those guys. So now these bums are in jail crying. Look at this, y'all. How in the hell is they sending text messages from jail? Look at this. I'm being held in the SHU, the highest level of security which exists. No commissary, right? Which means he can't buy nothing from commissary, right? No commissary, I should say, excuse me. No visits. No, you ain't getting no visits. No contact with the outside world. So how the hell is you getting this tweet out then? Without contact from the outside world, right? Look at this. Readers added context. Posting on social media is contact with the outside world. People believe these dudes. This shit is the craziest thing I've ever seen. You have pictures, bro. They have talked about how they were with Barron. I got Barron Trump in my WhatsApp. Me and the vice president, JD Vance, we're cool. They got pictures with all these guys. They were up in DC just before they got arrested. Peep this shit. My neighbor is a bleep who screams throughout the night. You're in jail, dog. What are you talking about? You're in jail. You're in solitary, brother. If you had no contact with the outside world, we wouldn't even know this. You're getting cooked, dog. And people really believe this shit and like this shit. Like, oh, you didn't do anything, man, bro. These people are crazy as hell. He's in here complaining about who, man, sit down and shut up. You did this to yourself, boy. And ain't nothing that Myron, weak ass, no name Gaines, is that his real name Gaines can do about it. He can cry, make as many videos as he wants. Y'all going over there to jail for the rest of your life. You admitted this stuff on tape. Game over. We ain't got nothing else to talk about. Pack these bums up. You got to get these type of people out of here, bro. You got PDF allegations on you, bro. It's over, Playboy. They either got it or they don't got it, meaning that the cops, the authorities either have the proof that they have this and they showed it to the Department of Justice, Donald Trump's Department of Justice, who signed off on this, or they don't got it. Donald Trump's Department of Justice would not have signed off on this if they didn't have the evidence to show the whole world. Trust me when I tell y'all this. They're not stupid, bro. Crazy work, everything that's going on, man. Let's talk about y'all boy, Marcellus Wiley. That's right. Marcellus is back in the news again. So Marcellus, Jason Whitlock's boy, his estranged wife spar over a GUN. Wow. Lord have mercy, man. This story gets crazy and crazier every single day, y'all. Every day, I turn around with this story with Marcellus Wiley and the soon-to-be ex-wife, Anna Marie Wiley. Bro, this story gets more crazier, bro. So now it's saying that the estranged wife and Marcellus sparred over a GUN during a contentious morning in court. Let's see what this is talking about. This is in the New York Post for all you guys who don't know, right? So it says Marcellus Wiley, his estranged wife, and their attorneys faced off in court yesterday morning. And during the at times contentious proceedings, there was a dispute over the whereabouts of the former couple's GUN. Wiley, his spouse, ex-Real Housewife of Beverly Hills star Anna Marie, appeared via video calls at a Los Angeles County court, and the latter had obtained a temporary domestic violence restraining order against the former this month, meaning she got a restraining order against him. Anna Marie wrote in her request for the DVRO, which she filed just days after Wiley was arrested in Florida for allegedly putting his hands on her, that she and their kids needed protection from Wiley, and that when the former Chargers pass rusher argued that wasn't necessary, the two were scheduled to discuss the matter in front of a judge. The issue of permanent restraining order ended up getting tabled to a later date after Marcellus asked for a continuance that was unopposed by Anna Marie and her attorneys. However, both sides did end up in a bit of a quarrel over a firearm. Part of the temporary restraining order against Wiley, he was required to give up possession of his Glock 9mm. But when he appeared on the courtroom's monitor wearing a black Nike t-shirt, he explained he could not physically get to the GUN. And y'all smash the like button, share the videos, y'all come on in here, right? Wiley stated it was located at his and Anna Marie's Encino home that he was forced to vacate due to the restraining order. Anna Marie was set to speak on the matter, but after she phoned in from the side of the highway with her kids in the car, the judge told her to hang up. Her attorneys instead spoke on her behalf. Wiley, his lawyer, and Anna Marie's representatives went back and forth about the issue for several minutes before they came to an agreement that Anna Marie would eventually turn in the GUN to authorities next week. Man, she had to get that GUN. Bro, this is crazy, but what the hell? But Jason Whitlock ain't reporting on this. Wiley had hoped to modify the temporary restraining order at the hearing to allow him more frequently see his 3 children, although that issue ended up getting tabled till a later time. So Wiley and Anna Marie, they got married over a decade ago, but their marriage appeared to come to an end on the 4th of July, right? It says Anna Marie claimed that Marcellus poked her in the cheek and threatened to unalive her during a spat in their Orlando hotel room. Wiley was arrested over the allegations on July the 6th. Anna Marie alleged further misconduct from Wiley when she filed for divorce from him alongside her request for a DVRO, right? Basically a restraining order. In her paperwork, Anna Marie wrote that Wiley had R-worded and repeatedly abused her throughout the years of their marriage. Wiley later vehemently disputed the claims, writing in a lengthy statement on July the 7th that she was the one who had committed wrongdoings in their relationship. He said, "I never wanted my family issues and struggles to become public for any reason, including divorce leverage," he said, "but I unfortunately knew this day was inevitable. I was willing to endure anything, even hell itself, if it meant being with my children every single day. I am their hero, and Now I'm fighting to make sure the positive and real image they know of me is the one that endures. I'm prepared to address these allegations and related matters through the legal process and evidence. My focus remains on my children, my integrity, and the truth. Thank you for understanding. Well, Marcellus has a rack of allegations against him, even from a woman who says that when she was a 13 leader, right? Y'all know what a 13 leader is, right? That this man was going to her middle school allegedly. Yeah. And she said that he would invite her over to the crib while he was playing in the NFL for the Buffalo Bills at that time to help her clean his CDs. That's what she claims. And she claims when she became an 18 leader, that he flew her out. I forgot where she said he flew her out to. He was on the West Coast somewhere, or in Texas, either Texas or the West Coast. But he flew her out, and she said he all word. You can't make this stuff up, dog. You can't make it up, dog. You cannot make this stuff up, man. This stuff is crazy, bro. Unbelievable stuff going on, man. And so now this is where it's at right here. This is where we at with it, right? This is where we at with it, you guys. It's come to this point, man, where it is just, it's never going to end. This situation right here is never going to end, bro, until it's over with. So this is going to be a years long battle. You can tell this is going to be a long, drawn out situation right here in court, man. It's sad, but this is the situation, bro. Now they are in court arguing over a GUN. Wow, bro. That's all I can really say is wow, bro. That's crazy. You know what I mean? So apparently they're supposed to turn that GUN in to authorities. So if she's that afraid that thing is out there, I mean, damn, dog. Marcellus has denied all allegations. He'll have his day in court or wherever, if they do go to court, through the legal system. Right. So he will have his day. So we do have to say that he'll have his day. And that's what it is. Now I do want to touch on this right here, you guys, and that is the situation with Carmelo Anthony, you guys. And I want to talk about Carmelo Anthony because he's going to return to court in August. So according to reports from CBS News, Carmelo Anthony is set to return to court in August. And y'all smash the like button and share the video as y'all come in here. He's set to return to court in August as his legal team seeks a new trial. Now, according to this report coming out of CBS, it says Carmelo Anthony is scheduled to return to court in August as his legal team seeks to overturn the 19-year-old's murder conviction and the stabbing death of Austin Metcalf. Anthony, who was convicted of murder in June of 2026 and sentenced to 35 years in prison, has two post-conviction hearings scheduled at the Collin County Courthouse in McKinney. The first hearing is set for 9 a.m. Wednesday, August the 19th, when the legal team will argue his motion to recuse State District Judge John Roach Jr. from overseeing the appeals process. Judge Sid Harrell of the 4th Administrative Judicial Region in San Antonio is scheduled to hear that motion. A second hearing is scheduled for Thursday, August the 20th, when Anthony's attorneys are expected to present arguments in support of their motion for a new trial. In June, a group of well-known civil rights and criminal defense attorneys announced that they'll represent Anthony in pro bono in his appeals. Dallas appellate attorney David Cole, who has handled appeals for decades, told CBS News Texas after the trial that Anthony's team could have several strong arguments over whether the trial was handled correctly. The hearings marked the first major step in Anthony's post-conviction appeals process during his sentencing. So he's going back to court to see. Now, they got to figure out, first of all, what the hell is going to happen with that judge? If they get that judge recused, right? If they get that judge recused, they might have a chance to get a new trial. Right? Right? They might have a chance to get they might have a chance for a new trial. Right? Right? Think about what I just said. See, he's going back to court. 9 a.m. Wednesday, August the 19th. Right? We'll see. And Thursday, August the 20th. Right? Well, they're going to present arguments in support of their motion for a new trial. So that's why I told you all these lies people put out here on the internet. We're going to see all them people saying, oh, yeah, it was 2 9, this, that, the third, he was jumping. Man, you don't have to tell these lies. The lawyer's going to get to the truth. I told you what the lawyer said. But y'all see how Nancy Grace and how other old girl, right, Megyn Kelly and them, who demonized the family, talking about the family was bringing in race. There was not race involved. Yes, it was. It was in the sworn depositions. And the sworn depositions, and I have the sworn deposition right here. And the sworn deposition, and I have the sworn deposition right here, and the actual appeal paperwork. I will show you. I will show you. I have it right here. And the sworn deposition right here, as y'all can all see on your channel, right here. I got all 193 pages. All you gotta do is go down. In that sworn deposition, they were accused, the Metcalf twins, they not only did they have evidence that these dudes had a history at school, they had a school records, you guys, of violence and bullying. They had victims that were going to come testify in court of the Metcalf twins, violence and bullying, and they had evidence that the Metcalf twins had been arrested for racist graffiti. That's in these sworn documents right here. That is right here in the sworn documents in the paperwork. Right? But if you don't read the paperwork, you wouldn't know this. But that's the thing. Those news people, they got all these people that can read and look over this stuff. They should have easily been able to see what the deal was. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. They should have easily been able to see what was up. Right? That was the worst deal anybody could have ever made. Think about what I just said to y'all. Right? And I'm showing y'all all paperwork. All the exhibits right here. Right? But the exhibit that stuck out the most was the sworn statements. It was a sworn it was a sworn statements. Then I'm finna show y'all. You got emails, all this stuff in here, bro. But I'm talking about the sworn statements. Right? Right? They don't want to talk about that. What was that sworn statement at? I got it somewhere. What was that sworn statement? I know I got it. Here it go right here. Sworn affidavit. You see this right here? You see this right here? Sworn affidavit. Right here. All you got to do is look right down this affidavit. It tells you right here. Right? It tells you. Right? They had witnesses to this stuff that they were alleging. Right? It's right here in the paperwork, y'all. All you have to do is read. Right here. They had the witness original statements. And then right here, 15 and 16. That's all y'all got to do is just read this paperwork right here. If the prosecution did not call any of these witnesses, the defense was ready to call them during the defense's case in chief and question them as hostile witnesses. Furthermore, the defense intended to call witnesses familiar with Austin and Hunter Metcalf's reputation for violence and bullying. The defense intended to call witnesses who themselves were victims of the Metcalf twins' violence and bullying. The defense intended to question Memorial High School teachers about the Metcalf twins' disciplinary history contained in their school records, right? Which corroborated their character for violence and bullying. It's right there in the paperwork. And finally, the defense intended to elicit testimony about the Metcalf twins' arrest for racist graffiti. Game over. But you don't see none of those people. None of those people that was out here talking about a race war. Right? Right? None of those people. Right? Think about what I just said to y'all. It's right here in the paperwork, right in the sworn paperwork. On page 140. On page 140. You can't beat this with a stick. And you leave this out of the case, and then none of these people are talking about this. That's the crazy part. And they'll try and downplay this like, oh, what does that have to do? Yeah, it has everything to do with it. If you're talking about two racist, violent bullies, that's way different than two church-going, just honest little youngins that's out there not looking for nothing. Make it make sense. And this boy got 35. Y'all sitting up here talking. They would have presented this evidence to any sane jury. That boy walks. Like, share, subscribe, man. And I didn't even get to see this during the trial. This came out after the trial. All this stuff was held out of the trial. That's wild.
Hey, we always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video. Check out our next video coming up right now.